If anyone's been telling you that there isn't a double standard going on in video games, they are being very disingenuous, or they're very ignorant of what's going on. And I see it happening a lot with it's just small people. Most people understand what's going on, but these people that try to convince you that nothing's happening is just baffling, because at the end of the day, these people, everyone's seeing it. If you are a gamer like you say you are, then you're seeing it. There's no way to unsee it. There's no way to avoid it. The only way there is to avoid it is to intentionally avoid clicking on the video or not reading the article or staying off of social media. But if you're on it and you see it and you read it, you have some people who will sit here and say they're trying to be like the middleman and try to tell you, well, both sides are wrong. There is no such thing as both sides are wrong. There is no such thing as being a middleman and that being okay. You can be a middleman all you want, but at the end of the day, if you being a middleman, you're still siding with, well, they call it the left, right, or they call it the right ring. They will call me a white ringer. But I'm not all into that political whatever. I stand on the side of Jesus Christ. So, anything that's in the Bible, that's pretty much the side that I stand on. And everything that they're doing, the left people, whatever they're doing is extremely wicked. Is not normal. It's disgusting. There's nothing righteous about it. It's just sick people who need help, and they need to, get over themselves and stop trying to force ideology upon people. That is something you don't do in video games or any type of entertainment, because we need to escape, real life. We're trying to get away from all the political and all the business, and we can't do that if we're being pushed. All this is being pushed in the video game, and who wants to play that? Who wants to play a political game? If I want to play a political game, I go out there and I'll fucking play with somebody who is into politics in real life. We'll play a card game or something, make up our own political game. I don't need a political game in a game where I'm playing as Spider-Man or I'm playing God of War Ragnarok, but they want to throw in a black girl to push a narrative of black people. Okay, I'm black. I don't want black people being pushed in there because we're black. I just want a black person to be in there and for him to have his own character and his own identity. But these people don't do that. DEI is nothing but a front to these people. They're using that to use it as an excuse, as they use everything else, to push their beliefs upon people. We got some articles here, which I'm going to put up on the screen. We got some articles. We got some funny memes. I'm not really going to dive into the articles and all that stuff. I may dive into one or two, but I'm really not going to do all that. I put it on the screen so you know that there's evidence of it, and I put it on the screen, so you can see the hypocrisy and the double standard going on. But we're really going to talk a little bit about all that stuff and what I saw with this Stellar Blade game before it came out and after it came out. And you really realize that these people who are in the mainstream, these journalists, these companies, they don't care about what gamers want. The only thing that they care about is money, and that's all they really do care about. Because I saw this one video where this woman, I think it was they're part of the government or some shit. I forgot what it's called, but it's supposed to be some environmental government agency or something like that. And they push this ideology upon people, just like BlackRock. He wants to force ideology upon people. They may do it for different reasons, but at the end of the day, they're trying to push the ideology.
Well, behaviors are going to have to change, and this is one thing we're asking companies. You have to force behaviors, and at BlackRock we are forcing behaviors. 54% of the incoming class are women. We added 4 more points in terms of diverse employment this year, and what we are doing internally is if you don't achieve these levels of impact, your compensation could be impacted. Okay,
we're doing the same thing.
And so it's just you have to force behaviors.
So what this woman was saying is that she realized that most of these companies are not actually believing in what they're pushing, and she wants to force people to actually believe in that, like she's some sort of God or whatever. But there's only one God, and that's God Himself and Jesus Christ. But this woman here, she wants to make herself into a God, and that's not you're just the same as every other human being on this planet. There's nothing special about you. You're not the Lord. You're not Jesus. You're not some saint. You're not even a queen. You know what I mean? There's nothing special about you. You don't have no type of background or anything. You're just another regular person who's gonna die like the rest of us, and that's it. You cannot force ideology or beliefs upon another person. It's wrong, and that takes away the ability of choice, and it starts making it more like these people are trying to run a Holocaust over here. They keep calling people who are like me Nazis, but they want to put everybody into a box and have them all think the same and look the same and act the same. It's like it's Hitler all over again. We don't need this. We got IGN over here praising Bayonetta, praising Nier Automata, which is just the amount of saying, hell, Bayonetta is literally naked, and she's pretty much just as appealing as Eve, and Nier Automata is right next to Eve. So how are you gonna praise these games that they was bashing in the past as well when these games came out? But how are you gonna praise these games and then talk about Stellar Blade? That don't make sense. That don't make sense. Think about that. That don't make sense. You're praising a game, 2 games that do worse than what this game does, and you're using it to bash another game that's inspired by both of those games. And then you bash them games in the past. IGN France came out there and said that this game was killing women just for existing because they can't live up to the beauty standards. How many men are killing themselves? How many men are dying alone because they can't find nobody? Because all these women who are out here in the West are trying to find that one man that is under 1% of men that are rich. And then you got 6 foot tall. That's unrealistic. At least.
Bye.
Never mind that right there. But yeah, it's like you're using all of this you're using the stuff that you used to bash to praise something else that is inspired by both of those other 2 things that you bash. That don't make sense. That is hypocrisy. And then that's showing the standard that they have, like in the West. We don't see them talking about Baldur's Gate 3. We don't see them talking about Hades 2. We don't see them talking about Marvel Spider-Man. They're all these things that we see that they're doing that is spreading their ideology and their message. They're not talking about that. But when they want to grab another game from from Japan, Korea, they want to change it to fit their ideology, their message. And if you can't do that, then they're gonna bash your game. They want this game canceled. Why would you want to cancel a great game such as Stellar Blade? That is delivering what majority of people want. These people even want this stuff. Most of this stuff is even projected. When you got people who are bashing Eve, saying her body is fake, when they know that it is 3D scanned. When they know that Kim has a whole wife, yet they want to tell people who like this design that they need to go touch grass. And they were saying Kim never seen a woman before. That's all these people can do, is just insult you. Their insults don't mean nothing though. In France and in Japan, Stellar Blade is number 1 in all-time sales for Sony. Number 1 in 2 countries. It would have been number 1 probably across the board had they not censored the game. But they did. That's why we're fighting, making this petition to fight back this evil corporation and stop them spreading this ideology. People want to use this argument saying that it's too sexual. All it is, there's no sex in this game. There isn't any nakedness. There isn't no... The only thing there is just a beautiful character wearing some beautiful clothing. Some may be a little bit exposed, but it's just showing off curves and cleavage. Yet in Baldur's Gate 3, they talk about dick jiggle physics. They talk about men in it. They got God of War still got the husky built man, Kratos. They got Spider-Man ripped. Spider-Man in underwear, ripped. Hades 2, they're sexualizing every character in the game. I know, they didn't, just too much hypocrisy. Too much double standard right there. And they only do it for Eastern games. They already did it for the art book made in Japan. The Nintendo will have the uncensored version, but why are you censoring an art book? The hell, who the fuck? Why are you censoring an art book? Then these people will gaslight you and tell you that, well, why do you care? Then why did you change it if you didn't care? Obviously you cared about it. I just saw it and I was like, cool. Adult game. Then you censored it because I guess you didn't care about it. And now you're telling me, why do I care that they censored it? And if I don't agree with what they say, then I'm labeled an incel, a rapist, a porn addict, a cooner. Wherever insult that they can find, that's what they would do. Insult you. We're gonna look at some of these reviews that I took screenshots of when I was looking through some of the articles. We're gonna go over some of these bad reviews here. A 70 saying a video game where it is more about the appearance of a female protagonist than about the game itself. And that even before its release, no, we are not talking about Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, but Stellar Blade, and that's a shame, because under the thick layer of controversy lies the fine game. Now, if y'all remember, there was no controversy whatsoever, and there still isn't any controversy for this video game. The only people who are making controversy of this is the people whose ideology is not in this, and so they want to destroy it and destroy the image of it. But if you remember that in the showcase, if anything was being advertised, it was the blood and gore and the gameplay mechanics and the bosses and the world design. Yes, you had your little sneak peeks of cool design sets of clothing here and there, but most of the time she was covered up, and they were showing off the gameplay. So this right here is already a disingenuous take of why they gave this game a low review. But, you know, what do you expect from a game journalist? Another one here from Player 2, 67 score. While discussing is sure to be dominated by the sexualization of lead character Eve, looking past that, Stellar Blade provides a solid action experience for fans of a Souls-like genre. Now, playing the game myself, this game is not like a Souls-like game. It is more like a light. I heard one YouTuber say light. And he's right, it is light, a Souls-like game when you first play it, but after a certain amount of time, if you play Nier Automata, it has just a little bit of Nier Automata feeling to it, but it's literally have its own game mechanics. And I think that is what we're missing nowadays in games where they make their own style of gameplay. But it has its own game mechanics. There is no Souls-like to this game. But I will say this, that you see how they say that the gameplay is great? They don't go into deep explanation explaining why the gameplay is great or anything else. The main thing is that they focus on sexualizing Eve when no one is sexualizing Eve. They're just observing her beauty. They're just admiring her beauty. But they want to call it sexualization to give it a bad rep. Video gamer who has the worst take of everybody in this fucking article. If you take just the combat and the music from Stellar Blade, you got a fantastic game. So he already called this game fantastic. Because the game is fantastic. And they already know that if they say the game is not fantastic, gamers are going to make them catch hell if they say that it's not. But they even know this game is great. But you'll see that he kind of shies away from talking about what the game is. And he starts going straight into sexualizing Eve. This is not the whole package. The worst thing about Stellar Blade is that if I ever had any semblance of interest in the story, characters, or narrative, this was promptly stamped out due to the ingracious levels of hypersexualization of Eve. Oh, someone is telling us a story. These people are some disgusting, sick people to sit here and for all day, every day that they wake up is how can we make an article talking about how sexual Eve looks. No one sits up every day thinking about what can I do to sexualize this character. People are too busy having fun playing the game to sit here and think about how sexually attractive Eve looks. Like I said, it is there to be a good experience to add to your game, but no one's gonna waste their time doing that. And Games Radar, Stellar Blade is more ambitious and varied than expected, but also about as clunky as expected, which is not. If you play the game, it is not clunky. Resulting in a shifted action RPG. Resulting in a stilted action RPG with a level of jank that you just have to accept. There was nothing to accept because there was no jank. Meta on its items and either tune out or embrace the odd sexual veneer in a solid 20 to 30 hours of fun. Like I said, I'm not going to go over all articles or anything, but I am going to post some stuff showing the hypocrisy and the disingenuous takes on other things. But just by judging off of those, you can see that they just go to show that these people, the only thing they think about is sex. They only think about sexualizing people. And the only thing about ideology and politics in this game. I'm glad that Cellblade was able to become a massive hit, and it will continue to be a massive hit and set an example for all video games today of what a game truly is and what it used to be. These game journalists are not actually journalists, they're just activists trying to take over the industry, albeit they may have their different intentions. All of their intentions are the same, and they will act like all of their intentions are the same to try to drive a wedge within the gaming community and try to force this ideology not only upon you but your kids. They're going after your children, and you can see that they're even at times like in Suicide Squad where they turn Ivy into a child and have Harley sexualize her, or yet when they have kids that naturally have cleavage, like maybe a 14 or 15-year-old in any of these Eastern or Western video games, but mainly Eastern because Western is already falling off the deep end. They even have them try to censor some of their characters, and it's like, why are you sensualizing this teenager? And it's very practical that teenagers have cleavage. That is a normal thing. I'm sorry you don't like it, but ain't nobody else thinking about cleavage during these games. We just see it, and it's normal like anything else. Women have a cleavage, women have breasts. It is natural, and there's nothing to be ashamed about if you have breasts. But, these people will just gaslight you and tell you that women can be anything, and they just don't have to be pretty women or sexy women or anything like that. No one's asking for that, but this is a video game, and the least thing I want to do in the video game is see ugly. Okay, we didn't pay $70 to $80 for ugly characters. We played to see idealism, we played to escape, and we play to have fun. And if you're not doing that, then you're not making a video game. These people are not making video games. Only Eastern Entertainment is making video games, and hopefully we can get this petition to work and we can get the game that we was promised and advertised. We don't know what they cut out in this game. Anything that might have been offensive to Sony or to these people. And that is why we need to end censorship, because we may not even actually begin the full game. That's how far censorship can go, where they will even cut out scenes or missions or maybe anything that seems offensive to these people, and then you'll have a game that will probably be behind a paywall, or you just don't get the actual experience because you don't know what they censored. You don't know all you can do is just find the obvious, but we don't know everything that they censored in this game, and I'm sure there's more things that was censored. We just need to band together and fight back some of this and stand our ground and take up for our fellow men. We shouldn't be sitting here fighting each other about a video game. We should be seeing what's going on, executing what we need to do to fight back this culture war that we're in and stop this double standard in video games. And this is just proof that gaming journalists and even these big corporations like Sony and Xbox, they are also in this ideology that is being driven in the West. So if you like the video, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the like button. That's what it's there for. And I'll see y'all in another video.
Mission complete and all that, huh? The Goliaths were wiped out, and we secured a route into enemy territory. Now we can...
9S,
Yeah?
thank you for uploading my data to the bunker.
I did that? Sorry, I don't remember. There wasn't a whole lot of bandwidth down there, I probably only had enough time to back up your memories. Mine are only intact up to the point just before we rendezvoused.
I see.
Glory to mankind.
Glory to mankind.
Trovata noi, don Johann,
star.